On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock,
a change to Google Ads default settings may broadly upset novice advertisers.
We're trying to navigate the promoted pins ad format popping up in Google Maps.
And money TikToks while big advertisers walk.
All on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Friday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Nicole Waddington.
I'm Jess Budd.
And I'm Greg Finn.
And it is officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on July 12th, 2024.
So first up today, before we get into any industry news, we have personal news. This is Nicole Waddington's last episode of Marketing O'Clock.
Wait, we're not supposed to cheer, am I? No, it's a sad. I'll put on a sad emoji.
Yeah.
Tables, throw a sad emoji on my face.
It's bittersweet. We're happy for Nicole, but yeah, we're very, very sad. You've brought a lot to the show and a lot to our agency. She's also leaving Cypress North. Very, very sad, but taking an awesome in-house opportunity. So happy for you, Nicole, but we are going to miss the heck out of you on this show. And I know Shep was really sad that she couldn't be here to like pop in and say anything on the last show. So
hey, Nicole, it's Shep. I am absolutely heartbroken that I couldn't be there for your last episode this week, but I just wanted to call in and say that Greg, Jess, and I know I can speak for myself especially, are going to miss you so much, not only on the show, but at Cypress North and in our real lives. I'm just heartbroken to see you go, but I'm so excited for your future, and I can't wait to see all the amazing things you do. Thank you for all the times you filled in so that we could go off and travel and have babies and do fun stuff. I really appreciate it personally. I've learned so much from you over the years. You are one of the smartest people I know, and just can't wait to see where this journey takes you. So congrats on everything. We're going to miss you, but wish you nothing but the best.
Last podcast. You want to come back as a guest?
Maybe.
That would be really
I'd
fun.
be down for
We gotta bring
that.
Marketing Talks back to the in-house perspective.
Yeah. Should we make you give a speech?
No. Yeah, give a speech.
Speech.
No, I mean, it's a very bittersweet moment, but I have thoroughly enjoyed being part of the show. It is amazing to have an opportunity to work with such a force. And yeah, I will be a loyal listener of the show in the coming weeks, and super, super grateful for Cypress North and everything I've learned here.
Awesome. And Nicole
Super grateful for you.
is just a powerhouse of a human being. Mm-hmm. And again, I've talked to her a million times. I know within 30 seconds of talking to her, started here as an intern and made it through the ranks here. Just an unbelievable marketer and human. So I just want to say thank you so much for jumping on the show and helping out the agency, the show, everything. You've been a tremendous member, and we are going to be pulling for you and here for you if you ever need anything moving forward.
Thank you. Maybe you'll be a news source.
Maybe I'll actually log into X.
You don't have to.
And this week is kind of a slow news week, but we've got one big change, I would say, to Google Ads. But before we get to that, I'm going to talk about Wix Studio. Wix Studio is your go-to if you are looking for help in building quality websites that look phenomenal. Unlike traditional website builders, Wix Studio allows you to instill your creativity, build the things that you want. And my favorite part is they think through everything. If you build the site, it'll automatically scale responsively. Something that you just need in 2024, regardless of what SEOs are saying out there. There's no code animation. There is a huge library and ways that you can add widgets and additional functionality to your website. They also have multi-site management for enterprises. So if you have multiple brands, you need to spin something up, you want to keep the same scalable solution that can roll out to different brands or different sites. they've got that as well. It is enterprise level software that allows you to build without needing to rely as heavily on your developers. I can't say enough great stuff about Wix Studio. They have team workflows where you can have the ability to track every project from a workspace. There's design libraries. There's ability to have constant collaboration within everybody that's working on your Wix Studio site. And also, they have it for clients, which is just something where you can tell that Wix Studio cares. You can have customizable handoffs or handovers, as they call them, where you can say, here you go. Here's how to change things. Here's the process. There's a code-free CMS. They don't have to code. They don't have to jump in and do HTML, obviously. And there are comments as well. So you can have version history and say, oh, we updated this. We updated this. You can see and annotate everything that you do. So if you're looking to build a website and you're looking to take some of that stress off for yourself, your resources, your developers, while still making something beautiful, it is wix.com/studio, wix.com/studio, wix.com/studio. And into the news this week, Google Ads and Thomas Sissel, he finds him and Higman, they're like,
they're on the prowl constantly.
If they're finder's fees, they're rich. They're rich this year. He found that the default setting for new campaigns, new search campaigns in Google Ads is going to be set to having broad match, to being broad match, right? And you typically have the default where it would be use different match types. And within there, you can have broad, you can have phrase, you can have exact. You still can't have identical. That's something totally different. And what will happen with broad match is it will be all broad match. And to me, I think this makes sense for Google from a monetary standpoint. Broad match, unless you actually know what it is, it will spend for things that you might not think you're spending on if you're a novice advertiser. Broad match looks at the content on your landing page, your previous search history, and then the term that you put in with kind of wild matching is what I would call it. So if you're a novice and you set a campaign up, you might turn it on and just say, I want to show up for this term of New York painter, right? And now we know that that could change. New York could be picked up from New York and changed to Long Island. It could say from painter to stain. It could be artist, right? Painters and artists. It could be all sorts of things. So I do think that this will make Google a lot of money.
Sure.
But I think that the people that this will hurt the most is probably the people that can't be hurt the most, right? The like the least that you would actually want them, that you'd actually want to hurt them. Like those are the people that don't understand Google Ads, that don't have that deep acumen, are going to go put in terms, think that they're showing up for it, and it's going to show up for wildly different things.
Not going to hurt our listeners though, because they're getting this nugget.
Yeah. And I know I talked about it on It's New with Barry Schwartz and the Wix gang. I love Google Ads. Do you think that's wrong, Nicole?
I think you love it, but I also think you know how to use it. So
Yeah. But like I wish more budget was moved to Google Ads. I wish more people would use the platform. I do think there's a ton of value. Obviously, we see it all the time with our clients. And I just wish that they made it easier on people. And broad match can be super, super dangerous if you don't have the right settings, the right mindset, or a strategy with broad match. If you just set up a campaign, turn on eCPC or maximize clicks, and you have broad match on that is dangerous. And my fear is that people will try Google Ads, small businesses especially, and put out there, put in the terms that they think they're going to show up for, and have no clue about smart bidding and no clue that broad match can actually look at your previous search history and match in that format. And also, they just don't need to force this one, I don't think. I don't know. Nicole, do you have any thoughts?
No, I think that for people who know what they're doing, it's just another setting that you have to make sure you check before you launch a campaign. But like you said, if you don't know what you're doing and don't have a lot of background in Google Ads, then you're potentially wasting a lot of money.
Yeah, and when something's checked by default and you don't know what you're doing, you just assume it's the right choice too. Like you never think you'd be being led astray. So a little psychology there too.
Yeah, and Google Ads is hard. And I feel like a lot of times we'll have people come to us and be like, we tried Google Ads and it didn't work. And with this change, I feel like there will be more of that. People not using smart bidding, people not understanding it. If they can find the search queries in the new UI, they'll be horrified. Like, it's not a very user-friendly default to turn on to somebody that is a lower end user of the platform.
And there was no announcement with this, right? Like Thomas just found it when he was setting
Thomas
something
found
up.
it. Yep.
So they're not telling us anything, just sneaking it by.
And now for this week's
Cool Tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners. And is really, really cool.
This week's Cool Tool is a report template for Looker Studio, and we give kudos to Christina Lavasser at 𝐶_Brodsky on X. Do you think Shep would like that rhyme? Was that up to par for her? I'm trying a lot harder.
I'm messaging her right now. She said no. She said, get bent.
She didn't even
She said,
respond.
"Get bent."
Just telepathy. She knows.
Sorry, she was asking for access to the prep notes. That's why.
Oh, silly.
Everything else was a lie.
Also probably true, though, in her heart. All right, so this is from Christina Lavasser, and thank you for creating and sharing this bad boy, Christina. It is the SEO Consumer Journey Looker Studio template. It leverages GA4 and Search Console data to deliver 36 pages of data that you can use to analyze your organic traffic performance. It's crafted to provide a comprehensive and high-level view of the entire customer journey. It's not just for SEOs either. Anyone with a website really can benefit from it. It offers deep insights into metrics around visibility, attribution, your audience, and engagement with your site. So you do have to pay for the full version if you want it, but you can demo it for free. And honestly, a one-time fee for a really robust report that you can repurpose multiple times is not a bad deal. And poke around in the demo. It really is a massive report with great insights, including an executive summary, which is always nice if you have to share. So as always, we'll have a link to this in our newsletter as well as on Discord. That's newsletter.and community.marketingclock.com respectively. So pick your poison and check it out.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
This week's Take of the Week comes from the one, the only Colin Slattery over on LinkedIn. And Colin says, the new Google Ads UI isn't just annoying, it's objectively bad design. A full half of the screen is now wasted. Nav elements are supposed to take up space that isn't otherwise being used by active work areas. And Google's new layout does the exact opposite of that. The entire top quarter of the view is wasted space, and they've jammed navs into the left third. So half the screen is now wasted real estate. I agree with Colin, but it's even worse. They've gone out of their way to make the left-hand navigation and then the tabbed navigation and then move settings all the way to the right. It is a disaster of a user experience and interface. Does anybody disagree with that?
No.
It is terrible.
Yeah. And half the times getting into the settings doesn't work. You're clicking buttons and it's not opening anything up.
Mm-hmm. Or you're in the wrong level. They just make it really difficult to get anywhere. Maybe an intentional move. But
yeah, and there was also some other commentary in the comments of Colin's post. Lisa Martino said, completely agree. For starters, it drives me insane that search terms were moved out from keywords. Everything takes longer to find and takes more clicks. I never thought I'd say this, let alone put it in print, but I actually prefer the Bing Ads new navigation menus much better. Brian Papa said, what's infuriating to me is they claimed that the research they conducted showed that most people liked the new design. So that's why they're moving forward with it. I don't know a single person that's had positive feedback. The designers that built the new UI for Google Ads have not spent money in Google Ads.
oh, for certain.
The layout everything about it it's just intentionally like hidden to get to anything that's you need to do, which again are some of those like dark practices that Amy Hebden had a great article over on Search Engine Land about last year. Additionally, Colin jumped on and said the fact that clicking campaigns when several layers deep doesn't back me out to the all campaign level drives me up a wall. And then Davidas Torkis says, totally agree. The new UI feels like a step backward in usability. It's frustrating to see valuable screen space wasted like this.
Do you know what I've been doing? When I want to look at something deeper, but know I need to go back to where I am, I've been duplicating the tab.
Great UI.
Like, that's how bad it is that I'm like hacking things just so I can easily get back somewhere.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy today. It's Nicole's last show. We're staying positive.
Good vibes only.
Good vibes only. I'm only going to be positive. You can't just put a designer on this thing and be like, oh, make it look cool. No.
It doesn't look cool.
No. And out of all the changes and out of all the things that you talk about, an AI in here, an AI in there, an AI here, and nobody gives a fuck about that. We want to be able to do our jobs easy. We don't want to open a new tab every time. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm like, we're listing groups in this now in Performance Max. It's stupid enough that you called product lists or product groups listing groups. And it's just, please make it easy on people. Like, if there's, all you need is one person who's used Google Ads in the past, sitting in with the UI designers being like,
hey guys, here's what we got. We're gonna put everything in this navigation. Guess what? Search terms and I can put in my keywords because f it if I know.
and you'd be like, no, that's bad. That's bad. Make it easy on people. Mm-hmm. I just still can't believe that we're here making things, and when I say we, I'm saying Google, is making things on purpose to confuse and hinder your customers. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous to me.
We don't have a choice, though, either. That's the thing. Got to work in there.
And I understand you have stockholders, and I understand you have share prices and everything like that. I feel like there's a customer revolution coming at some point. I feel like there is. I feel like at some point people are gonna be like, oh, you know what? The customer matters. At some point,
The people that give us money?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those people over there with pitchforks and flames. They're angry. Yeah,
I don't know.
I know.
Tables, cut this out if you want. But I went to a Savannah Bananas game this past weekend. I was floored. It was unbelievable.
Like good?
Like in a good way?
Good, yeah.
Oh.
In a great
cool.
way. The players were all running around in the stadiums. They're all there pregame. Everybody's there postgame. There are things for people to do the entire time. Sometimes there's negative connotation around cheerleaders. There were just old dads. They had 4 old dads as cheerleaders, and they were just being funny, and nobody had a problem. They're jumping through tables because they were in Buffalo. Everything was like geared towards the fans. The baseball game, the longest it could take is 2 hours. If a 2 hour period ends, the game is over.
Great.
And
Love
then they
it.
have a final,
Yeah.
like a showdown thing. Like
Customer experience.
In between every inning, it's like, oh, this little cheerleader is going to cheer up the entire crowd, and you got to do what she says. It's like all cut. Like, guess what? If you catch a foul ball for the opponent, it's an out. The fans participate. And it's like, you have so many people that are like leaning into customers, and then you have Google who is just like, hey, bend over. I got a new UI for you. And I just wonder, like, when are you going to say, I care about customers?
Never.
I mean, it was Tony Hirsch or Heish, whatever, from Zappos that was like the customer forward person, and then he ended up where he did. But I just feel like we need that back. I feel like the world needs that back. We need hope.
More Savannah Bananas energy.
Yeah.
In the digital marketing world.
Okay.
Or just in
You
humanity.
can cut all that tables. I just wanted to go off on a tangent.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
first up in the paid universe today, California Privacy Protection Agency on X announced that AB 3048 advances out of the California Senate Judiciary Committee, which means that this bill would require browsers to offer support for opt-out preference signals. So this, depending on where it goes, can potentially impact your website and cookie tracking.
Wait, I just got a news flash here. People are saying that's why you quit, is because you don't want to report on the CCPA anymore. Is that true fact?
No comment. And Thomas Assell on LinkedIn noticed that Demand Gen has now got a tCPA Insights box. We reported that PMax and Standard Shopping had it. He noticed that Demand Gen now has it. So this will show you if your actual CPA is within expected range. And then the graph also shows weekly CPA averages, included projected conversions. I don't know if I trust that.
No, especially not with Demand. Like, I feel like Demand Gen, the chart should just be like shrug emoji.
Yeah.
Here's a line.
That would be a good chart.
There you go. I would actually use that all the time, just for like a little smile. Like, that's what we need. A little smile.
Customer experience.
Shrug emoji. I don't know.
And Florian Schroeder, also on LinkedIn, said, big news for Google Ads users. Google Ads has just completed the auto migration of location extensions to assets for most active accounts. So this means that if your account was active between July 2023 and January 1st of 2024, most likely your location extensions are now assets. So you can verify your migration status using two fields in the customer resource, and anyone who wasn't migrated but wants to use location assets needs to create them manually.
Can I give you a quiz? Mm-hmm. Okay. See if I trained you well or not. Break down the difference between extensions, assets, and ad formats. Because I literally am asking for a friend named Greg.
I honestly can't tell you.
I am still miffed about ad formats. It drives me crazy. Like, oh, these are prominence about ad formats.
I just let it leave my brain because I can't with it.
No, I'd sleep. I'd stay up at night. I'm like, you really think that this was a smart move, calling ad formats that was typically a thing before with a definition and rechanging that to including assets was a good move? And now your prominence metrics and top ads that are probably going to be all AI overview, like specific. Sorry. Yeah.
And it's just so confusing when you're talking to clients and you're like referring to assets as like, oh, maybe images or videos that we're looking to run. Mm-hmm. And then you're also talking about text because assets could mean like site links or call outs.
Oh, and then
you just sound so dumb.
Yeah, and then asset groups are full of headlines, long headlines, descriptions. Drives me wild.
Sucks ass.
Yes! I didn't think that was going to come out of your mouth.
And Nava Hopkins on LinkedIn, a lot of LinkedIn news, said, did you get this email from Google letting you know that your country of sale is now using feed labels? So let me break this down for you. Starting August of 2024, all shopping and Performance Max campaigns in your account, which are currently using country of sale to match merchant center feeds, will automatically upgrade to new feed labels. So feed labels let you advertise all products with the same feed label in a shopping or Performance Max campaign. You can select only one feed label per campaign, and this will allow for more flexibility in campaign targeting. In the Google Help article, it says, for example, feeds using the same language could be given the same feed label, making it easier to target those feeds in one campaign. In the past, products were selected for campaigns based on the country of sale. If you use country of sale to select your products, feed labels can be used as your replacement.
This makes sense.
Yeah.
The country of sale is like an attribute within the feed, and the feed label allows you, before you even go into your product groups or your listing groups, like I mentioned earlier, and you can just put it at the campaign level. It's great for targeting different countries. This should be something that people are like celebrating.
Yeah, more control. And Sarah K. Wiley on LinkedIn posted, and we're off. So excited to announce the launch of www.usvgoogleads.com. So this website helps us keep track of everything that's been going on with the litigation against Google Ads. And I checked out the website. It's really well organized. It has all of the documents that you would need to get up to speed on the newest and latest on that case. All right. And then Anthony Higman at Anthony Higman on X had posted, yo, check out this wild new ad format on the Google Maps app. I put in directions down the shore, and then when I passed this gas station, this Royal Farms ad popped up with ad stop. I didn't type anything in about gas or food or anything. Anyone know what kind of ad format that is? Ginny Marvin from her ads liaison account said that these promoted pins are not new. They let people see relevant ads for businesses like gas stations, restaurant stores along their route. To avoid just driver distraction, these ads do not pop up. They only expand if they're tapped on and disappear quickly. But a lot of people were confused because people thought this was new. I've never seen anything like this. Have you guys?
No.
Yeah. So Anthony then clarified and said he didn't tap on anything. It just popped up.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a conflicting explanation for this new format, or not new. But Ginny said she would follow up because that's not what it's supposed to do.
Wow.
I spend a lot of my day in Google Ads. Do you?
Yeah.
I would have a disclaimer. We don't do local stuff. But even if so, I would have no idea how to make this happen.
Yeah. I mean, I would guess PMAX just because you can't see anything that's
Well, it's the
happening
only
with
place to have
PMAX.
location extensions where it works. So you have to make a PMAX campaign in order to get this. This is insanity. Like Waze ads had this a long time ago, and it wasn't great to use. We'd run ads on it all the time. I did not know that you could have Google Maps ads. And why can't you just have Google Maps ads? Like, that's not something that's a campaign type or anything like that. That seems like it should be its own specific thing.
Yeah.
Because just because I'm a law firm doesn't mean that I want every time somebody drives past me on the expressway that they see my face. Like,
Hey, stop in.
you might not have an injury.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
will if you just
if you're
keep popping up over your
distracted.
GPS.
Yeah.
You're going to get distracted.
But then, does it only show up for some? This looks like it's maybe a gas station. I don't know what
You've
Royal
never been
Farms
to a
is.
Royal Farms?
Never.
No, I've never heard of Royal Farms.
Oh, I've been to several.
What do you give it on a 5-star scale?
2.9.
That's what you give it? Because that's what everybody else gave. Oh, you just.
I was just reading that. No, it's fine. It's not special. It's not like a Wawa or anything.
Wait, what do you give a Wawa?
I give it like a 4. I like a Wawa.
I'm not a huge Wawa guy. Everybody's like, try the sandwiches. And it's like, this is like a crappy sandwich. in the
Sheets is
refrigerator.
better, but
I
Wawa
like
is
a
fun.
Sheets.
Yeah.
What
Loves.
do you think about a...
I don't think I've ever been to a
They're really
Love's.
fancy.
Those are good. What about Speed? I like Speedways too.
Reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Royal Farms is fine. It's like a Sunoco.
You know what the worst is? Marathons.
Really?
Marathon. No, for a long time I would not get gas. I would run out of gas on the side of the road rather than get gas at a marathon.
I see them so infrequently. There's like one in
Yeah.
the area. Maybe that's why. I mean, they're not great. What's bad about them?
Well, the gas pumps never worked. People are jerks. Everything's slow. But the biggest thing is like the pumps would never work. They'd always be closed. I would go to a marathon and they would always be closed.
Sounds like Google.
Yeah.
But honestly, how on earth do you do this?
I don't know.
But if
I think
you
it would
wanted
be really
to do this,
useful
yeah.
for certain businesses.
Nicole, interview quick. Who do you think is the go-to authority if you had an honest-to-God question, your life is on the line about a local ad, and you could ping anybody in the world? Who would you go to?
I would call Anthony Higman.
Men. How does he not know how this works? Is there anybody more qualified than Anthony Higman?
No.
And he doesn't know how this works.
He's never seen this before. But apparently it's existed for a while.
This could be so useful for the right people.
Yeah.
All right. We got to get Higman on the show. He's your replacement.
I would love that.
Bring Higman in here.
All right, and more Google Ads news. Last month, Google Ads began showing or allowing ads for opioid painkillers in instances where it would discuss like awareness or abuse. And Google updated that announcement saying, due to implementation challenges, Google will be indefinitely pausing this policy update. We apologize for any inconvenience. I feel like I'm not completely surprised it didn't go as planned.
Yeah, and this happens to us. They make these blanket changes that, if they did have teams doing this and it was something where you could go advertise opioid abuse in different ways, you could do testing in different ways that you can try to do things in a safe fashion if you have to do things, and ways to have rehab and ways to get help, it could be a huge benefit to people. And especially being able to advertise, go find the real target audience that needs help. There's a huge benefit that could be here. You look at it like from Google's side, and that's a lot of management to be able to do that. And yes, there is a ton of positivity that can help out of it, but in this case, we've seen it before, right? You've been on an account where we had a client that sold N95 masks. They actually had N95 masks during a tough time around 2020. I'm not going to say the words because we banned from YouTube. They had masks in stock. There were people that had to go into work. I'm not saying like nurses, doctors, but restaurant workers, cafeteria, essential workers that needed N95 masks. We had a client that sold N95 masks that we couldn't advertise. And they do these sweeping changes instead of trying to actually make it work. To make it work, you just need to put resources in, and this would work. This opioid thing work. The N95 thing could be easily managed. That's not what they do. You look at it as a cost versus loss, or cost versus upside, and that's what happens all the time. Sad.
On to another platform.
You guys are looking like I should shut up today.
I don't have anything to add to that. You're right.
Yeah. On to another platform. Microsoft Ads announced a new AI-powered asset recommendations for video ads with connected TV ad recommendations coming soon.
You know what I think? I'm just joking.
Yeah, advertisers can put in a landing page and it generates video ad recommendations. You can choose to edit those or refine them. More AI from Microsoft.
It's just making videos.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you're using AI to make videos, you've already lost. It's really not that hard. Call us if you need video.
That's where it is. You need the
tables will cook you up a video that run circles around this
He made
AI.
4 for me this morning, so yeah, actually it can be done.
And lastly, back to Google, there is a new Chrome extension designed to help you troubleshoot your enhanced conversion setup called EC Assist. So all you do is install this Chrome extension and you can run a test conversion on your website, and the EC Assist will identify potential issues and suggest next steps. So people seem to be having mixed results on how easy it is to set up enhanced conversions, depending on their complexity of website and how it's set up, what they're trying to track.
Chrome extension? That sounds like a cool tool that was missed by this fool.
That was a great rhyme. You could beat me anytime.
All right, that's all in paid. What's happening in organic?
I have to go to the bathroom.
That's
Tables,
happening
you can cut that if you want.
All right, and before we get into the organic news this week, I need to talk about a great sponsor of ours, Wix.com and their Learning Hub. Wix doesn't just provide a platform that talks about doing SEO. They give you insights, tips, webinars, guides, anything that you could ever want. They have a fantastic learning hub over at wix.com/SEO/learn. And in this week, pulling up some of the recent articles here, I can see, it's new. They do a daily podcast featuring Barry Schwartz, Crystal Carter, Morty Oberstein, and myself. And also Shep. Shep has an article about fostering education first culture at your agency. You can tell how much they care by their actions. not by their words. Most people say things and don't follow up. Wix is all follow-up action, helping. It is such a welcomed relief. I don't know how on earth everybody if I ran in 2024, one of my platforms should be everybody needs a Wix.com website. We need to promote ourselves. There's no better source than Wix.com. If you're like, hey, I'm stuck, the SEO Learning Hub is a wealth of information. It's a treasure trove. And you can find webinars, podcasts, daily video shows, articles from Shep, articles from some of the great minds in the industry. And I'm just, from the bottom of my heart, telling you, you want to go with the solution that cares about you. And in case you can't hear how much they care, you can see it in their actions. So check it out if you want more information. Wix.com/SEO/learn, Wix.com/SEO/learn, Wix.com/SEO/learn. And getting into the news this week from Mike Ryan on LinkedIn. He said, coinciding with the rollout of Merchant Center Next, a brand new merchant API is now available in beta. It replaces a content API for shopping, and it breaks down some of the things that you should know. It goes through some of the general information, some of the sub APIs, some basically like APIs to follow like accounts, products, data sources. And I'm going to kind of sum it up with his outlook where he said, it's a cookie cutter sentiment, yet genuine. I'm excited to see which new features and capabilities will come with the Merchant API. I recently wrote a bit skeptically about the transition from feeds to data sources in Merchant Center Next, yet having read the API documentation, I have a newfound appreciation for the potential of this change, which is great.
Keeping it real.
So head over to LinkedIn and look for Mike Ryan over from Smarter E-commerce if you are looking for more information on that. There is now a new from sources across the web on Google, and this was found over on Search Engine Roundtable. It was found by 𝐤𝐿𝐿, and the example of this is you can see he was searching for SEO tools, and there was a variety of different tools that showed up. To me, this is almost like a search engine results page that's sort of like smart database, or I guess like rich database around tools within the SERPs. And now when you click on it, it expands. You see Wikipedia at the top, and then you see a variety of different kind of strange articles, to be honest. If you look at the GIF, there's like top tools, stuff like that. I don't understand what's going on. I feel like at some point we're going to be like so splintered off with the search engine results pages where you have normal kind of traditional listings. You'll have AI overviews and cards. And then stuff like this that's like structured data adjacent, I'd say, where it's, I don't know, it's sources across the web. Isn't that what you are?
The results are?
Isn't that what you are, Google? Aren't you sources from the web?
That's strange. That's weird wording.
And I just don't like the fact that it's like, here is top SEO tools, and it's like SEMrush. And then you expand it, and it's like Search Engine Journal here is top 16 tools. Like, I don't know what's happening over there. Okay, I'm just going to make a new segment. Is that all right, Nicole?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to call this segment Gassing Up AI.
Oh.
We're all too negative on AI.
Too negative on a lot of things.
Let's just gas it up. Gas it up, right?
Sure.
Okay. From 𝐁𝐫𝐴𝐴 AI. Google says its greenhouse gas emissions have surged 48% in the past 5 years due to the expansion of data centers that underpin its AI efforts.
There it is.
Gassing it up. All right, and that's it in organic. What's happening in social, bud?
You've heard of sponsored articles on LinkedIn. Here comes sponsored newsletters. There was an update to a help article from LinkedIn about both formats that said, in addition to more details, it said, we're gradually releasing sponsored newsletter articles and you may not have access to them at this time, but they're releasing them. They're coming. And then they did say that only newsletter articles by a company and part of the company page can be sponsored. So if it's a member authored newsletter, you won't be able to sponsor it. It's a thing. It's coming. They've reported a lot of increased engagement over the last year with the LinkedIn newsletters. So maybe you have this, maybe you don't. If you do have access to the feature, you'll be able to create the sponsored newsletters in Campaign Manager's content library. So look out for that if that's of interest to you. Moving on to TikTok. According to Adweek, big U.S. advertisers are pulling back from spending on the platform, and it's likely due to the fact that they're exploring other options with the looming possibility of the app going away in 6 months. Among the biggest declines are Target, who's reduced their ad spend by 30%, DoorDash, Bayer, and Procter & Gamble. So they're just making room for everybody else. If you're on the platform, you probably have some more inventory, or maybe things will get cheaper. If you're not on the platform, you still have 6 months to test it, and maybe more. We'll see what happens. But the big guys are pulling back a little bit. So just FYI there.
I'm sorry. If you think that the app is going away, you're an idiot.
Target's an idiot then. Procter & Gamble are idiots. I don't know.
It's not going away.
It seems it's, again.
Also, if it's going away, what do you care?
Right.
It's still here.
It's here now. That's what I'm saying.
Like, what
if you're on there, like, they just made room for you.
That's like being like, hey, I'm Target, right? I'm Target.
Okay.
You're TikTok. It's not you, it's me. That's what they're saying. It's like, no. People are still here.
They're still there. I know. Yeah. I'm with you. That's like saying I'm going to die someday, so I'm just not going to eat now.
Hey, Nicole, maybe in like 6 months, you're not going to be as cool. Like maybe you're, let's just ditch this 6 months.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's also possible that that's not why. Maybe it's not working for them. Maybe that's why they're reducing spending.
Well, then say that.
Right?
What is wrong with people?
I don't know.
Does anybody have the truth
Nobody.
anymore?
No, absolutely not. But anyway, FYI. So the US is going in one direction. TikTok is hoping the UK goes in the other. They have a new program, the £1 Million Club initiative. It's offering incentives to help UK businesses grow their shopping presence and revenue on the platform. Benefits will include 90 days of commission-free sales, fulfillment via TikTok Shop, extra support from experts, marketing tips, things like that. You have to register to join. The form is really very, very simple. You just answer a couple of questions, and then they say they'll reach out to you. So if you're in the UK, maybe check that out.
Can I say something?
Please.
I always really appreciate the fact that they talk in stone.
Stone?
Instead of pounds. The pounds are the money.
Yeah.
But for the US, it's pounds to stone.
Oh, it's like, yes,
Yeah.
I see.
I
It's
love
like opposite.
that. When you're like, I'm like 14 stone.
I don't know.
That's probably a lot.
What is what?
It's 14.
Like how many pounds are in a stone?
14.
14. Okay.
But
so
that's
14 stones
that's probably
is
a lot.
14 times 14.
Yeah.
You're talking weight, not money.
Yeah.
That's
but
what
I
I was
like
like-
I like that term. You're like, hey, I'm a little under 200.
So that's what they call
14 stone.
interesting. Really?
Yeah.
At X updates radar on X. Spotted to try it before you can buy it option for X Premium. They shared some code changes that allude to a free trial. Not a lot of information on that, but if you want to test it out, maybe you'll be able to for free without paying. X is also apparently experimenting with a downvote button.
Yes!
I love this.
Give me more. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
You're that excited?
I love downvotes.
It's like equivalent to when somebody does something bad on the road, and
Yes!
instead of flipping them off, you want to give them the thumbs down.
Yeah,
like, I'm
yes.
disappointed.
Yeah, like
Yes!
ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This could be like the it factor for X.
But
I mean, where everything is like now, there's bot attacks. You're going to have dislikes and turn comments off and blah, blah, blah. No, this is great.
yeah, there's no numbers though next to it. Like you can see how many likes there are, but you can just see. Like I guess you can downvote it. I want to know.
I want
yeah.
the numbies. I want the downvote numbies.
Yeah, of course you do. So if it comes, maybe they'll add that. But that's something exciting. I don't know. There's not a lot going on this week, so I'm glad you were so passionate about that last one there.
And that brings us to our real life segment. Straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work. Good, bad, or otherwise.
Working hard or hardly working. What do you have, Jess?
I kind of wanted to bitch about how hard it is to use Meta Business Manager. It is such a disjointed experience. You can't get anywhere easily. Nothing connects. It is similar to Google Ads in the sense that I am duplicating tabs when I need to go back somewhere or do something else. But working hard is you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Down to your last breath. I'm just so glad that you're still here and grateful for the
Wait, working
time.
hard?
Yes.
This is coming out on Friday.
Well, But she's been working hard up until the very last minute.
That's very true.
Very, hardest working human on the planet. Gonna miss you.
Miss you too. And Greg?
I talked a few weeks ago about Triple Whale. I really enjoy the attribution that it offers. We are able to get better access and export straight to Google Sheets. You can do so on certain cadences. You can do it on daily, weekly, monthly, things like that. And just built amazing reports on like the things that really matter. It was something we were doing manually and have been able to do, like automate it and do it on a daily basis. And I'm going to be making like a ton more. Just having that API option to get data out of things is something that it's just like revolutionary, and just very happy that they offer that, even though it doesn't integrate like directly with Looker Studio. You have an option to get there.
And hardly working for me is Microsoft Ads Connected TV. So we had a client ask us about Connected TV on Microsoft, and when we were poking around the targeting options and what we would need to set it up, Julia on our team had seen some cool settings that we thought we could use, and then I had pulled it up and we could not find them again. And then we went into it the next day, still couldn't find what we had seen before. So we're just really confused at this point and don't really trust Microsoft Ads right now.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI, people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
All right, ICYMI this week. Cyrus Shepard wrote an article about an experiment he had tried where he disavowed every link on his website. And he goes into screenshots and performance charts. So he said, here's what happened when my traffic in nearly 2 months since disavowing every link on his website. So Greg, I think you would appreciate this chart here. Screenshot from what looks like Search Console, and he submitted the disavow around a little after May 14th.
It's an okay chart. As far as charts go, you can get a lot better than this chart.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be more, because nothing happened.
I disagree. I think things went higher.
Things went slightly higher. I think the average there would have gone up just a little bit.
Like 10 clicks, though. Difference.
It's way more than 10 clicks. It looks like on average it was like 120, and then it moved up by the end to like 140. That's 20 clicks.
20 clicks.
20 clicks.
Twice as much as I said.
2 times what you said, bud. How dare you?
Well, the point being that we wouldn't have expected this. Right. So he goes on to say he thinks that it didn't work because Google didn't trust the disavow file. And, saying, Google has said that disavow works more like a suggestion or hint than a command, and has always reserved the right to trust their own judgment when it came to disavowing links. So I thought this was a really interesting experiment.
Yeah. And tables, feel free to cut this as well. It is actually wild that we're in 2024, and this has been going on since at least like 2006, 2005, probably earlier, where link spam was a thing. And the whole time Google's been like, oh, we know what link spam is. We know what it is. And we're here 18 years later, and we still have disavow files.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
All right, and this week's must-read marketing article of the week comes from the one, the only Andrea Cruz over on Search Engine Land. And Andrea takes you through 7 things that you should know about LinkedIn ad settings and tactics. Andrea goes through CTV ads, talks about the frequency control that you have with them, the hybrid brand lift tests. Also, something that I don't hear anybody talk about boosting posts from LinkedIn pages, predictive audiences, the conversion API, and average dwell time metric. If you are been maybe like dabbling in LinkedIn ads and looking to take it to the next level, or if you're like, hey, I'm good with LinkedIn ads, maybe you're not doing CTV, maybe you're not doing some of these boosted posts, go check it out over on Search Engine Land. Thank you, Andrea.
And now onto our playlist of curated songs to work to, which you can find over at playlist.marketingoclock.com. What's going on the playlist this week?
I'm going to go with Maggie Rogers, Light On.
Good choice.
Thanks.
Jess?
Rum Brave by Murder by Death.
And I am going to be putting on B2B by Charlie XCX.
Of course, you're B2B
marketing
on the
adjacent,
freaking way
I had
out,
to stay on
going
theme.
in-house to a B2B firm. Oh, okay. Guess what? I'm picking B2B. You know what? I expected nothing less from you, Nicole. And we will miss you.
I'll miss you guys too. All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing Clock,
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already, Nicole.
and we can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.
Welcome to this week's Shootin The Heck, where after our famous Friday news show, we don't talk about news, we just...
Shoot the Heck. And this week's Shootin' the Heck is a very special one. Obviously, this is Nicole's last show, as you know, and we are going to talk about geography. Nicole is going on an excursion. Do you mind if I say that?
Sure.
Oh, you do mind?
Oh, no.
You don't mind? Okay,
I don't
okay,
mind.
okay.
I don't mind.
So you're going to be going to Prague, Vienna, and Budapest, correct?
Correct.
Okay, we have trivia on Prague, Budapest, and Vienna for you here today. So hopefully Nicole wins this. But Jess and Tables, you have a chance to usurp her.
If we win, we get to go?
Yeah, you get her ticket.
Because she'd be a great travel buddy. Just saying.
No, you get her ticket and hand it over.
Oh, I would never do that to
Okay.
her.
Are we ready? First question is Prague based. What is the famous clock located in Prague called? Wow. Okay.
I know they have like 12 things that come out.
Called
like,
hours? Yep.
It's like a religious symbol.
Oh,
Okay.
Jess.
Nope, nobody gets it. It's the Prague astronomical clock.
Oh, I wouldn't have got that.
Okay, let's go with the easier one. We'll go to Vienna here. Which famous composer spent a significant portion of his life in Vienna where he composed many of his masterpieces?
Jess.
Jess.
Frederick Chopin.
Incorrect.
Nicole.
Nicole.
Mozart.
1-0. You're ready to go. You're allowed in Vienna. Okay.
She's like the only other composer there is aside from Beethoven.
Okay, we got another one. Here's Prague-based one here. What famous Czech beer brand, known internationally, has its origins in Prague?
Shoot.
If only somebody owned a beer company here.
Well, we don't,
Yeah.
we don't focus on Czech Pilsners, although they're delicious.
Name a Czech Pilsner.
I couldn't.
You could too. I thought people would get this. Tabes, you don't have any guesses?
No idea.
I wanted to say Yingling, but that's Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's really close.
Shiner?
Incorrect. Any guess?
Let's get a multiple choice going here.
Yeah.
I don't have multiple choice. It's Pilsner or Kel,
Oh.
right? I thought that was a common one. Okay.
Yeah, like Steve Urkel's beer.
All right, we got 3 possible answers. One of you is going to get this. Out of the 3 cities, Prague, Vienna, and Budapest, which of these cities is known as the City of Spas?
Oh, Budapest. Oh,
That's your
Nicole.
name? Nicole. I kind of like that. Hey, pass. I'll call on you. Okay, Budapest, correct. All right, Nicole's up 2-0.
Are you going to go to any spas while you're there?
Maybe.
You should.
It's a big thing.
You're now allowed in Vienna and Budapest. You got to get some
into
Prague
Prague.
trivia.
Okay.
Which out of the 3 cities we're talking about is famous for its traditional coffee house culture, which dates back centuries and is frequented by intellectuals and artists?
Jess.
Jess.
Vienna.
Correct.
Ooh.
Okay, you can go there now too.
Thanks.
Take the baby. Okay. The iconic statue, the Trullu statue, is depicting a mythical what that is symbolizing the founding of Hungary? A mythical what?
Jess.
Beast.
Okay. If that's closest, you'll win. If there's closer ones, you'll lose.
It's closer than a beast.
Probably a type of beast.
All right. Any guesses? No guesses. Plenty of things on the planet, guys. Plenty of
But
things.
it's mythical, so it's not even on the planet.
Okay. No guesses?
I guessed.
All
Don't
right.
look at me.
Jess has tied it up 2-2.
Woo!
2-2-0, technically, tables.
What's the answer?
Yeah.
Bird. Mythical bird like a phoenix or something like that. I don't know.
cool.
I just said phoenix, but
I
it's
was
a bird.
going to say bull, so I'm
Okay, now we're
glad.
going to get into some fun questions.
Those were riveting.
I was trying to get some like things that could, you might want to know.
Yeah, these are all useful.
Okay. What unusual event, this one's not, what unusual event occurred in Prague in 1945 that involved elephants and a bridge?
Like the name of the event?
What happened?
Jess. A bridge collapse
Incorrect.
from an elephant parade. Oh.
The Prague Zoo had to evacuate all of the elephants during World War II because there were bombing raids at the zoo, so they had to get
There's
the
a movie
elephants
about that.
out into the streets and across the bridge to save the animals. Okay.
I think there's a movie about that.
Really? That seems sad.
All right. What bizarre law once existed in Vienna regarding owning pet cats? Jess, you should have an advantage here. You have cats.
I drank beer, too.
Nicole.
Nicole.
They have to have a leash.
All right. Anybody else?
Jess. You have to have 2.
Okay. Anybody else?
Tables.
Tables.
You have to keep them in a cage at all times.
All right. Nicole is the closest. The answer is in the 18th century, Viennese pet owners were required by law to pay taxes for their cats and also to dress them in uniforms to distinguish them from strays. So your cat had to have a uniform. I thought that was a fun one.
Adorable. Aw. Tax, though? Rude.
Okay. Wait, which one aren't you in yet?
Oh,
Prague.
which city?
Prague. Okay. What odd tradition do Prague students partake in at the end of their studies at Charles University? I'm going to give you a hint. They climb the statue of King Charles IV at the Charles Bridge. And what do they touch on King Charles for good luck?
Nicole. His foot.
I'm going to give it to you. It's a toe.
Oh.
A toe.
That is
Just one toe, not
Just
a,
the toe.
not
A
particular
specific toe?
You're now allowed in Prague, and you are winning 3-2 here.
I wonder if it's like peeking out of a robe or something and it's just one toe.
Okay. There was a bizarre event in Vienna in 1783 involving a hot air balloon, and it frightened the locals who thought it was what?
Oh, Jess.
Jess.
A UFO.
Tables.
Correct. Tables.
Somebody from a foreign army.
An alien. Okay, no. I don't know. Okay. They thought it was a dragon.
Oh.
They thought it was a dragon.
A mythical beast.
And I believe
Mythical
that's
bird.
where, was that where like the House of Dragon stuff happened? Was that like Prague-ish? Probably, right?
Probably.
Okay, well, we're going to give it to Nicole. Congrats. You're eligible in. Don't even need a passport. You
That's
could just show them this footage here. And,
Show him your toe.
yeah, go touch somebody's toe. And you have a great time at Prague, Vienna, and Budapest. We will miss you dearly here.
I'll miss you guys too.
Miss you so much.
And we will see you next week.
Officially marketing o'clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it live.